Hello, welcome to Marshall County Close-Up. My name is CeCelia Ray, and I'm excited to learn more about Miss Jessica Scillian, who has served the city of Benton in multiple roles over the last 30 years. You devoted your time to Benton for the last 30 years. Now you're retired. How's retired life looking like for you?
Retired life is busy. When I was looking at retirement, everyone was saying, you're gonna wonder how you ever worked full time. And I thought, there's no way. There is a way. It has been very, very busy. Since I retired September 30th, I have tried to have some me time, tried to find some time for myself, but with 3 kids and I help take care of my dad, so it's still been busy. But I have found some time to just stay in my pajamas till noon and have to warm up my coffee a couple times. But I've enjoyed just having just a little bit of downtime, but still staying active and involved in the community.
Thank you for letting us know some stuff and getting to know you. So what has inspired you originally to serve the city of Benton?
So I was a student here. I co-opted my senior year at the city of Benton at City Hall. I knew I wanted to do a business degree in college, but I didn't really know if I wanted to do insurance or banking or government utilities. So I got a job at City Hall. I co-opted my senior year. The fall of my senior year, I joined the garden club. I thought, ooh, this is gonna be fun. We're gonna make Benton beautiful and we're gonna do all this fun stuff. I invited all my friends to come.
Aww.
None of them showed up. It was a Saturday morning. It was in the fall. You have to plant March flowers in the fall. So we had this big thing on Saturday. It was me and a bunch of older ladies. And I had the best time. It was so much fun. But none of my friends came, and I was so offended. And so afterward, I called them, and I was like, because we didn't have texts back then.
Yeah.
I called them, and I was like, why didn't y'all come? They were like, ooh, why would we? Like, I'm 18. Like, I'm going to the mall or to the movies, and I was like, oh. So that was a light bulb moment for me. That was when I knew civic service was what I loved. I absolutely loved helping the community and being involved in something. And then that next spring, when you drove down Main and Poplar Street, all these beautiful March flowers were there. So to know that I was part of that was an inspiration, and that completely sealed the deal to know that civic service is what I wanted. And so I just dug my feet in the ground, and at City Hall and with the mayor and the city clerk, I became a sponge. I asked 100 million questions. I was 18, 19 years old. I was like, I want to absorb everything I can. I went to college at night at the community college, and I worked every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. I was 19 and had a pension and insurance, and all my friends were joining sororities and sleeping till noon. But seeing the reward of my work was absolutely what I knew. So I just started serving the community in every way that I possibly could find.
How do you think starting young and at such a young age having such a strong work ethic shaped you as a person today?
Well, it was huge. I grew up with my dad worked a full-time job, and then he worked a second job. My mom was a homemaker, so she was at home with us. She volunteered at school and did all those things. And I'm so thankful to have all those moments with her. But my parents instilled in us, nothing is for free. You earn what you get, you work for it, and that is what's going to show to the world who you are, what your character is, and what your integrity means. So when I started at City Hall, that was my first job. I was 17 when I started my senior year. I was very green. I was very naive. I didn't know a lot about the real world per se. But I had great coworkers that were, of course, older, and they became like parents and sisters to me. And like they helped guide and shape. But I definitely stuck out a little bit. I was always a little bit more involved. I was always very colorful. Like I always wanted to make everything extravagant. I'm very much a maximalist.
I love that.
Like anything color, anything a lot, like that's where I was. So it would be a Friday afternoon and I would be like, I'm gonna go get some pumpkins. It's boring up here. It's October and we don't have pumpkins. I would go to the store, get pumpkins, haul them in my car, bring them back, decorate the front door. Like I was always doing things like that. And being young, they were like, yeah, you do that. We don't want to do none of that.
Yeah.
Then as I got older, the job duties became more community involved, serving on boards. I became a mayoral proxy. That meant I got to go to all of the board meetings that the mayors didn't want to go to. Well, I thought it was fantastic because it's knowledge. I got to learn all kinds of stuff about Benton, Marshall County, the region. So like, again, that sponge I became, and then I consider myself a full-time, lifelong student of city government. Like, you can never be an expert, but you can always be a great student.
What do you think helps you grow the most in your career?
Knowledge, asking questions, not being afraid to ask questions on things you don't know. At 17, I didn't have any idea what I was stepping into, and I didn't know 30 years later I would be retired from, in my opinion, the best place in the world.
Can you tell me about your career right before retiring and now you're running for mayor?
I am. So I had 30 years in with the city, and it became time for something different. I was ready for something different. I still loved my job, and to me it wasn't a job. Like, when you love what you do, it's not work. Like, I never was the person that came in and was like, ugh, I don't want to be here. Like, I loved always being at my job. Everything was new and different every day, dealing with the public, dealing with customers and utilities and city. Everything is new, so every day was something different. So it was never boring. But I knew it was time for a change. And when Mayor Dotson decided that she was not going to run for re-election, that she was ready to retire, I was like, okay, this is my opening. So I met with her. I asked her opinion. I asked her professional opinion of me, working with me for 12 years. I asked her friend opinion of me, knowing me outside of work as a person. And she said, absolutely, go for it. So I retired September 30th, and the first day that you could file paperwork to run for mayor was November 5th, and I was in the courthouse when it opened on November 5th to file my paperwork to run for the city of Benton mayor.
Looking back at all your accomplishments up to now, we're so proud of you and how you have served us, but what do you think is your most proud accomplishment?
I would say being able to be a mom and work a full-time job.
You are a really good mom.
Thank you. My kids are number one, and the city is so huge in supporting family, so I never had to miss a birthday party. I always got to take cupcakes to school. I never missed a program. I never missed a school play. I never missed leaving early to go pick them up if they were sick. The city was such a blessing to me as a mother to encourage and support being able to work full-time, but still never having to miss anything that my kids participated in. So I guess I'm just grateful for all of the mayors that we have had, that I've worked under 5 mayors. I'm thankful for all of them, because that was always a precedent. And that will be number one for me as well. Having employees make happy city, and happy employees need to know that family is very important. So it was just a blessing and a shaping of me that I didn't have to pick. Do I get to be mom today, or do I have to go to work today? Or can I do both, and can I make it work? And we're always able to make it work.
I love that. During your 30 years, what was your favorite role you had as serving our city of Benton?
Oh, I love the special events and the beautification jobs. I love party planning. That is my favorite thing. So we would plan events for the community, like around the court square, at the park. So planning the events and getting all of that stuff together behind the scenes for the community to enjoy was probably my favorite. It goes back to the very first thing I ever did with the March flowers. Like, doing the work behind the scenes, planting those bulbs, and then seeing that come to life. That was such an inspiration. Like, that was my first fuel that let me know that that was what I wanted. So we have planned, I couldn't even count them, hundreds of events in 30 years throughout the city, for adults, for kids. Farm to Fork, like, I've been involved in Farm to Fork for every year that it's been there. We used to have an event called Pumpkin Fest. We've helped plan the Easter egg hunts, the concerts around the court square, the car cruise-ins, the Christmas parade, all of that stuff. The planning behind the scenes is a lot. It is demanding. It takes a lot of time. But when you can see it come to life, and you see the community come out and enjoy what you've worked so hard on, it just gives you the motivation to keep going and to plan the next event.
As we know, in every job, there is always something you have to overcome. So what was your biggest obstacle you had to overcome in your years?
Probably learning how to speak not so bluntly. I am very honest and very forthcoming. And so when I started dealing with customers and customer interaction, I had to learn to sugarcoat it a little bit, to be more professional, I guess, is because when you're a 20-year-old kid and you have a customer that's very upset about their water bill, I was like, well, you used it. I don't know what to tell you. So I had to learn how to explain, and there again, knowledge is power. And so when you could explain to them what was going on, what the charges were, how they were calculated, how they'd accumulated, and maybe give them suggestions to find a leak, they became receptive of you, and the conversation became more friendly instead of like harsh. So I had to kind of learn how to, I guess, approach people in more of a way than what I was just used to as a kid. It's just being me and being very honest.
Yes. What is a character trait you had that makes you such a strong and powerful leader?
I would say being honest
Yeah.
and being outspoken and not being afraid to ask questions. I served on several regional boards, and there were lots of counties that I didn't know anything about them, and I wanted to know about them. So I would raise my hand in board meetings and I would ask questions. And some people would like kind of giggle because I was so young in a room full of distinguished mayors and judges. But after the meeting, they would always come up to me and say, "Thank you for asking that question. We understand that you don't know. We take for granted. So ask your questions. Pull us to the side if you want to. Ask them during the meeting." So I think my strongest quality is also kind of not my worst, but my downfall. It's just being honest, asking questions, wanting to know about everything. Like I don't support or like full-fledged dive into something unless I 100% understand it. And I want everybody to understand things as well. So I'm probably too much information. Like I'm very transparent to the fact that maybe there are things that I could probably tell you that you'd be like, yeah, I don't need to know that. But I want you to know that because knowledge is power. Information is how we find out, is how we learn, makes the world go around.
Absolutely.
So very transparent.
What is it like to be such a powerful female leader?
Oh, gosh. So Mayor Dotson was the first woman mayor of Benton. So to see that was very inspiring. We haven't had very many women leaders in Marshall County, in Benton, in the government side of the world. So to see Mayor Dotson serve on the city council for several years and gain that knowledge of city government, and then she ran for mayor, it was so refreshing to see the support that the community gave her because she had the experience. She'd been on city council, she'd been elected to city council, she'd served on boards, participated in all these community events, and then decided that she was ready to run for mayor. So it was refreshing to see that. So I hope that the same thing happens for me in November.
Yes. How do you feel like your work helps the community be a better place?
Oh gosh, I'm very passionate. Almost passionate to a fault. So I have 3 kiddos, and my husband would say we have 4. He jokingly says Benton is our other kid because I would be gone on Saturdays to events. I would stay after work to plan events. Participating in events and setting them up takes a lot of work. He would have to drive. I'd have to be like, "I need you to come with me. We've got to go pick up 12 bales of hay." And he would be like, "Holy cow." And I was like, "But you have to drive and I have to drive because I also have to get 100 pumpkins." So and then we would go set up for an event. So Benton has always been a community to me, but it's also been, as I've grown older and become into adulthood, it's a place that I want my kids to be able to always call home. I don't want them to ever have to say, "Well, I have to move because there's nothing here." Like I don't want that to ever come out of anybody's mouth. I want Benton to have experiences, events. I want kids and grandkids and in all generations to be able to have something to do, to sit around the dinner table and say, "Hey, Benton's having this fun thing on Saturday, let's go." Or, "Hey, wasn't that so much fun?" For generations to come. Kind of like how Tater Day is.
Yes.
So that's but I want to do more. Like I want to do things every month based on the season and the weather and the sports that's going on and participation. And I want our community members of all ages to feel an ownership. Because when you feel like you own or you're part of something, it makes you love it a little bit more. So I want everybody to kind of have a piece of Benton as a community to come together to make it be the best that it can be.
What advice would you give to anybody watching right now that wants to be in a leadership role when they get older?
Don't be scared. I was scared in the beginning. I kind of knew in middle school I was a little bit of a leader. I kind of just thought I was bossy. bossy can come off as being a leader, or a leader can come off as being bossy. But I had great teachers that encouraged me in middle school and high school, and great mayors when I was young that told me, don't be afraid to be a leader. Some people are born leaders, some people learn to be a leader. Don't apologize for that, because I would have an opinion or I would have an idea, but I would always start the conversation as, oh, I'm sorry, but what about this? And Jim Wiseman was the mayor at the time, and he told me, he said, quit saying I'm sorry. Don't do that. Own it. You have an idea, you own it. Don't ever apologize for being who you are and for being a leader, because the world needs leaders. So that changed a mindset for me to give me the confidence to go forward, but ask the questions. Don't be afraid, because I guarantee you somebody else in the room is dying to ask the question and they're just not brave enough to do it.
Absolutely. That's really good advice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching Marshall County Close Up. This was Miss Jessica Scillian with CeCelia Ray as the interview.